5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All systems go with Josh Appelbaum starts now.
Hello and welcome to episode 497 of the All Systems Go Sports Betting Podcast, powered by Rhythm. I'm your host, Josh Appelbaum. What's going on, everyone? Happy Wednesday. It's officially hump day. That means we are halfway through our work week, guys, but more importantly, we are now on the final countdown. That's right, the last 24 hours here until the NFL draft. And wouldn't you know it, there's another flip with the number 2 pick. You guys are probably sick of me talking about it, but I just think this is one of the ultimate battles here between information and what's right and what's wrong, what's a smokescreen, what's legit, or do the Jets, are they so stupid that they really don't know what they're going to do, and it's literally a coin flip in their own war room where they have half the of their people leaking out that they like Bailey, the other half say they like Arvell Reese. But once again, an unbelievable flip here, guys. And you know, if I had a time machine, if I had Biff Tannen's almanac, I would have just been taking anytime, you know, Arvell Reese was plus money, I'd take him. Anytime Bailey was plus money, I'd take him. But a lot of the books are protecting themselves because whoever's the favorite, like minus 145, the other guy is like minus 105, minus 115. So it's kind of hard to play that arbitrage game, which is basically betting opposite sides of the same bet and guaranteeing yourself a profit because you're going to basically get plus money on both sides of the bet. Either way, guys, the update today is that Arvell Reese is back to being the favorite, minus 145 to be drafted second overall. If you remember from yesterday's podcast, David Bailey was minus 125. So unbelievable here. Back and forth. You know, might as well, you know, I'll wake up tomorrow, guys. Here, I'll make a bet for you. I bet David Bailey will be back to a minus number just because that's how crazy this has been. And I must say, there are a lot of beat reporters who are like very committed to one or the other. So I think a lot of these beat reporters, we're going to find out who's legit and who isn't. Like if you look at, you know, the way these guys are talking about the second overall pick, you have a lot of them who are like very, very confident here that, you know, it's going to be Bailey number 2 or Reese number 2. And here, I'll give you another one that I do respect. This guy, Pete Schrager, he was on NFL Network. I think he's ESPN now. But he has Bailey going second overall. He said, I've had Bailey going to the Jets for the past month, and I have no further intel telling me any differently. Reese is a great player, but I'm sticking with Bailey. New York needs his instant production, 14.5 sacks last year for its lackluster pass rush. So there are very clearly people who are committed to Bailey. And I guess this does provide an opportunity because right now at DraftKings, excuse me, David Bailey is plus 110. So I guess there is a little bit of plus money on the Bailey to go second overall. Again, we'll see if Schrager's legit. You know, if you get Bailey plus 110 and Schrager's right in this one, you know, you're going to bet 1 unit and get 1.1 units back. But then you have other people who are very, very confident here that it is going to be Arvell Reese. And I want to pull up the latest mock draft from Mel Kiper Jr. because Mel Kiper is a guy I definitely respect here. But if we look at his final mock draft, let me just pull it up here for you guys. Mel Kiper, believe it or not, also has David Bailey. I just double-checked this because, again, you got a lot of Arvell Reese people, but actually Kiper and Schrager both have David Bailey. With the breakdown here from Mel Kiper, he says, quote, I get the sense the Jets will take production over potential here and the great Bailey versus Arvell Reese debate. New York, yada, 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 31st in sacks. Bailey would be an instant impact player for the Jets. So, again, those are two guys who are looking at Bailey, and this is a battle here. So you have two inside sources who are very tied in. They know what they're doing. They're saying David Bailey, he's plus 110 at DraftKings. Arvell Reese, though, flipped to a favorite today. So this will be an incredible test case of, you know, bettors, late money versus industry sources. And again, where are these guys getting their intel? So Reese is back to a favorite, but both Schrager and Kiper have Bailey, which would be plus 110. Now, I would mention, too, Daniel Jeremiah, another guy I really respect. I just saw this. It was a tweet that came across my my timeline. But tonight at 8 o'clock, Daniel Jeremiah is doing his final NFL mock draft. And Daniel Jeremiah is a guy who's also really, really tied in. So I might be a little nerd here and have my baseball sweats on, but then also turn on NFL Network and see what Daniel Jeremiah says for his second overall pick. But man, I guess the value here, if you think about it, would be Bailey plus money. But again, we'll see how this plays out. And we've been waiting this long, guys. When you preach patience, why force something today when we might as well wait until tomorrow and see where that late money breaks. But I do have my eyes on all of these bets, and I would recommend you guys, if you haven't done it yet, screenshot these odds. Who will go in the first round? Head-to-head matchups, over-unders for all these guys. We'll see how these move from today. And the other point is you want, the other angle is having multiple reference points. So, a week ago I screenshotted the odds. Now we'll do it the night before. When we wake up tomorrow and look through this late movement breaking throughout the day, because that's when word leaks out, people know things. You're seeing some, obviously, news break as we speak, just looking at different angles and people talking about different guys being drafted. But then we'll be able to compare a week ago to today to, obviously, game day in that last 24 hours. So very interesting here. But again, Reese versus Bailey. A lot of people are going to be proven right. Other people are going to get exposed. So we'll see how this develops. And we got one final day here until the draft is upon us. Now, that being said, let's get right back to betting Major League Baseball, because I have a 3-pack of sweats for you guys. All favorites here. And I would mention, as always, try to take advantage of odds boosts or whatever they want to call it, these little boost coins, which BetMGM will give you, because there are a couple games today where I was able to knock down these money line prices a little bit, and every little bit helps. And if they're going to offer it to you, you might as well take it. So 3 bets overall, 645 game, 740 game, 940 game. Going to try to go 2-1, eke out a winning day. Now, looking back to our last night, guys, that's exactly what we did. 2-1 plus 0.72 units. Had a couple great hits with the Cincinnati Reds. First off, that was a dog to favorite or pick 'em to favorite. Sneaky, sharp road line move here. And the Reds came through, won 12-6. They were rolling pretty much the whole time. Gave up a few runs in the bottom of the ninth, but they were in control. So nice to get a hit with the Reds early. Also got the Chicago Cubs doing it again, 7-4 over the Phillies. Only loss was my Red Sox, and boy, are my Red Sox pathetic. They can't do anything offensively. They got no hitting whatsoever. Even though they were sharp dog to fave, couldn't come through. Lost 4-0 to the Yankees. But Cubs and Reds came through. Red Sox didn't. That's a 2-1 plus 0.72 winning night. So we will take it and reinvest it toward today. Reminder, because it's Wednesday, the calm before the storm of the NFL draft, tomorrow's Thursday. That means we will have another rhythm rundown. So me and my buddy Cade Harper will be breaking down MLB, as well as some probably playoff NBA, and maybe we'll fit in some late NFL draft bets. That'll be fun because the draft starts at, I think it's 8:20 p.m. or around 8 o'clock, and we'll be doing the stream from 6 to 7. So those moves will be moving, and probably some bets will be coming off the board because it's just too late, and they'll be closing them. But looking forward to that tomorrow night. Stream live on Twitter, 6 to 7 p.m., the Rhythm Rundown. Now, that being said, guys, let's waste no more time. Get right back to doing what we love, betting Major League Baseball, grinding MLB. So let's see if we can produce another winning night here for tonight and get a little hot streak going. So first one on the board for me, let's look at a 6:45 p.m. Eastern Time first pitch. I'm focusing on the Atlanta Braves visiting the Washington Nationals. Now let's set the stage, talk splits, line moves. I'll give you my play for this one. Now, this is the third game of a 4-game set. Braves come in with one of the best records in baseball. They're 16-8. They won the opener 9-4. Took care of business as a -160 road favorite. Then the Nationals, 11-13. Pretty competitive team this year. They just bounced back last night with an 11-4 win. Came through as a +135 home dog. Now, in the rematch for tonight, Braves are going to go with the righty Didier Fuentes. 0-0, 2.25 ERA. I was reading about him. He's a young kid. I think he's only 20, but he's their top 3 prospect in their system, so he's supposed to be a good pitcher. Knock on wood, because I'm on the Braves tonight. Nationals, meanwhile, going with the fellow righty Zach Littell, journeyman righty, 0-2, 7.11 ERA. So what do we see across the market here? Well, this game opened with Atlanta listed around a -140 road favorite, Washington around a +120 home dog. And -140 road fave Atlanta, you're thinking, okay, divisional game, maybe, Washington's frisky at home, take the plus money. Or wise guys saying, hey, grab Atlanta. That's a relatively cheap price. Atlanta's a really good team this year. Lay it. And it sounds like it's the latter, not the former. Because we've seen this line move up toward the Braves, -140 up to -155. So about a 15-cent steam move in favor of Atlanta. Atlanta's got some pretty good bet splits here at DraftKings. 79% bets, 90% moneyline dollars. At Circa, 71% bets, 93% moneyline dollars. So very similar splits at both DK nationally and Circa out in Vegas. But that just tells us we got a good low bets, high dollar split at both the national and Sharp Book out in the desert in favor of Atlanta. Now, Atlanta, they're not a non-division favorite because, unfortunately, not perfect here. This would be a divisional favorite. Typically, you lean divisional dog. But Atlanta does have an opportunity here, hopefully, to cash a ticket because they have a big advantage offensively. You look at the Braves offensively, they're hitting .272 against righties this season. That's second best in baseball. The Nationals are only hitting .242. That ranks 14th in baseball. Atlanta also off a loss. So Braves lost last night, bounced back. The Braves are 5-2 off a loss this year. That's a 71% win rate, 16% ROI. So typically you lose, you fight back and play well the next game. Knock on wood. Hope that happens tonight. And then also home road. Braves 8-4 on the road. Nats are only 3-8 at home. That's the worst home record in Major League Baseball. So you add it all up here, guys. We got Atlanta off a loss, playing very well. They're second in baseball against righties. Nats are 14th. And they also have some good bet splits and system matches. So I will be laying it with the Braves. Let's go Fuentes. I got Atlanta. At the time, they were -145, and I had a 5-cent coin boost from BetMGM. So I got Atlanta down to -139, but definitely shop around because it looks like most books -150, even -155 now at this point. But let's go Bravos. Next one for you. An ain't broke, don't fix it play. Who wants to meet me back at Wrigley Field? We've been posting up there last couple nights, and I'm doing it again here tonight, guys. 7:40 p.m., Phillies at the Cubbies. Now, Cubs come in 14-9 on the year. They're taking the first two games of this 4-game series. They won the opener 5-1 as a -115 home favorite. Won again last night 7-4 as a -130 home favorite. Pitching matchup for tonight, the Phils, 8-15 on the year. They're going with the lefty Kyle Backus, who is 0-0 with a 5.40 ERA. Cubs, meanwhile, going with the fellow lefty Matthew Boyd, 1-1, 6.75 ERA. So what have we seen across the market here? Well, this game opened Cubbies around a -165 home favorite. Philly a +145 road dog. And again, Cubs are playing great on a winning streak. Philly is really struggling on a big losing streak. At some point, Philly's probably going to bounce back. Chicago's probably due for a loss. But looks like Sharps aren't thinking that's going to happen tonight. So I'm going to ride the hot hand and go with the Cubbies, guys, because Cubs have gotten steamed up -165 up to -175. And now I'm seeing some books as high as -180, even -185. So I jumped on the Cubs a little bit earlier today, -175. I had another BetMGM coin boost where I got them down to -167. So as always, try to shop for the best line, have those multiple outs, and always go to promos at the top of the page. Different books are going to appear a little bit different, but just click the promos, see what's available to you, and sometimes you got to add them to the bet. But I am seeing now some books as high as -180, -185. It looks like at FanDuel, they're still -178. So looking at the Cubs here, hopefully to come through. And again, don't love betting numbers much higher than this, but at least you're sub 200, so that's a good thing. But I like the splits on the Cubs, 80% bets, over 90% moneyline dollars at Circa. Tells me big money out in Vegas, also going with the Cubs here. Run line, because this is a play where I remember talking about it yesterday, where the Reds were getting a lot of run line support, and Reds ended up winning by 6? So they covered the run line. I was happy they cashed my -110, but always want to be aware if you're a little bit bolder and want to take more of a risk here. You sometimes can get rewarded, and I'm mentioning that because the Cubs run line -1.5 at +125, 50% bets, 81% spread dollars at Circa. So it looks like some sharp money also going run line here with the Cubs. Now, Cubs have that non-division favorite value, lack of familiarity benefiting the better team. They also have a favorite low total correlative betting value. The total in this game is 8. It's juiced decently to the under, -115. Anytime you see a low total juiced under, you always think about the weather, and the wind is blowing in at Wrigley, about 5 miles per hour from dead center down to home plate. But the Cubs also have the better bats. Knock on wood, they continue to hit here because they're hitting .255 on the year, .350 on base percentage. They've scored 124 runs. Philly's only hitting .218 with a .298 on base percentage. They've only scored 80 runs. Now, you look at a couple lefties on the bump. I always want to just have a reference point of, hey, how does each team hit against lefties? Because some teams are better than others. Well, Chicago's hitting .275 against lefties. That's 5th best in baseball. Philly's only hitting a .171. That is 30th. And how many teams are in the Major League Baseball? 30 teams. So the Phillies are dead last against lefties. Lastly, Cubbies at Wrigley, 9-5 at home. Phillies on the road, just 3-5. So we have a line move toward Chicago. We have a non-division favorite. We have a correlative betting favorite low total. We got good splits. We got better bats, and we are better against lefties. Doesn't hurt that we also have a 17% sharp mush edge in favor of the Cubs from our friends at Juice Reel. So 17% more of the sharper winning bettors also going Cubbies. And we also have a Rhythm Green Star recommendation also on the Cubs. So Rhythm AI model is high on the Cubs tonight as well. So again, you might have gotten around a minus 175. I use that coin boost to get the Cubs down to minus 167. But shop around, looks like minus 178 is your best number at FanDuel, but a lot of books closer to minus 180. Either way, let's go Cubbies. Now, last bet of the night, 9:40 p.m. Eastern Time. Let's go out to the desert. Chicago White Sox visiting the Arizona Diamondbacks. Now, the Chicago White Sox 9-14 on the year. They won last night's Interleague Series opener 11-5. Came through as a plus 120 road dog. My buddy Darush, who's a big White Sox guy, he was at the game, and he had the White Sox to win, and he had Murakami to hit a homer. So Darush, cashed bigly. So drinks on Darush tonight. But anyway, I hope that doesn't happen tonight. Murakami can homer. I don't mind about that, but I like Arizona here. Hopefully to get a win tonight at home. Pitching matchup, we got the White Sox going to lefty Anthony Kay. He's 1-0 with a 2.60 ERA. D-backs, meanwhile, who are 13-10, they're going to go with the fellow southpaw Eduardo Rodriguez. He's 1-0 with a 1.95 ERA. Now, what have we seen across the market here? Well, this game opened with the Snakes listed around a minus 145 home favorite. Chicago around a plus 125 road dog. And we've seen this line move further toward Arizona. Minus 145 up to minus 155. Look at the splits at Circa. They look pretty good on the D-backs. 86% money line bets, but over 90% of money line dollars. So it tells me we got a lot of big money out in Vegas going with the Snakes as well. Also seen some Arizona run line action. Minus 1.5 at plus 135. So they got to win by 2 or more. But they are getting 50% spread bets, over 90% spread dollars at Circa. And over at DraftKings, 56% spread bets, 88% spread dollars. So a lot of big money on Arizona to win or even win by 2 or more. Arizona has that interleague favorite value. Again, lack of familiarity, benefiting, quote-unquote, the better team expected to win. And here's another angle. In particular, it's generically speaking, hopefully the bats of Arizona can get to K and Erod can limit the Southsiders here. But Diamondbacks hitting 242 on the year. They've scored 104 runs. White Sox hitting 218. They've scored 93 runs. But in particular, once again, we just mentioned that Philly-Chicago game where two lefties were pitching, Backus and Boyd, and Cubs were great against lefties, and Philly was worse in the league. Well, did you know Arizona Snakes, they're hitting 284 against lefties this year? That's number 1 in baseball. Chicago's hitting 228 against lefties. That ranks 19th. Also better bullpen for the Snakes. ERA of 4.40 versus 5.73 for the White Sox. Lastly, a little home road. White Sox not terrible on the road, 6-8, but the Diamondbacks are 7-4 at home. I'm going to take a shot here, hopefully, on Arizona. And I must admit, the White Sox are a bit of a bugaboo. I feel like when I bet against them, they always beat me. But sometimes that doesn't happen. I remember the Orioles series, they did pretty well. But there was a game, I took the A's, was it last week? And Chicago took me down there. But hopefully the Arizona Snakes can get back on track. So I laid it with Arizona, guys. I got the Snakes minus 150 at the score. With shop around because some books as high as minus 155. So Arizona, Chicago Cubs, Atlanta Braves. Nicely spaced out. 645, 740, 940. So let's see if we can go one by one. Hopefully get 2 out of 3 and extend our winning streak. So that about does it for episode 497 of the ASG Pod. As always, powered and presented by Rhythm. This is the part of the pod where we wrap things up. And I always start first by saying thank you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for grinding in the arena with me through the ups and the downs, the good and the bad, the great wins, the heartbreaking losses. But we wouldn't have it any other way, right? I'm sure we'd all love to win every night, but that just isn't realistic. It's a very difficult market, but we enter that market with a cautious but optimistic attitude every single day. So, of course, if you do enjoy this pod, now I'm going to ask a favor of you. If you wouldn't mind, could you please give this podcast a 5-star review? If you're listening on Spotify or iTunes, leave a comment if you feel so inclined. Click the follow button. That way you get a pop-up notification on your phone as soon as the pod drops each day. Recommend the pod to a friend or retweet the pod when I put it out on Twitter at Josh_insights each day. Next, if you enjoy this style of sports betting breakdown, data-driven, sharp contrarian betting, you wake up and you don't say, oh, I want to bet on this team. Why? Because I think they're going to win. No. We wake up every day with a clear, open mind. Let the board speak to us. Look for the games with sharp action. Easy tip to try not to get your bias involved is when a lot of people look at the sports betting board, and this is a tip a mentor of mine taught me very long ago when I first started working at Sports Insights. He always said, cover up the names of the teams. Because when a lot of bettors wake up in the morning, the first thing they look at are the games. Who's playing who? Red Sox are playing Yankees. Okay, Red Sox stink. Yankees are going to take the Yankees. Well, maybe that's a bad example because that actually ended up happening last night with the Yankees. But you want to cover up the names of the teams, and if you're staring at a live odds page, all the team names will be listed on the left, visitor on top, home team on the bottom. Instead of going right to the games and the teams, go to the right. Don't even look at who the teams are. Look at the open line to the current line. See which direction lines move. It's better to start with the line movement because that's going to basically eliminate your bias and allow you to diagnose the games from a objective, not a subjective standpoint. But either way, guys, if this style of betting has appealed to you, you want to learn more about data-driven betting, you have someone in your life who could use some data-driven tips, or you want to make my day, let me know you appreciate the insights every day, please go to Amazon.com, type in the NFL Sharp Betting Playbook or the Everything Guide to Sports Betting. Those are the two books that I've written. Very proud of both. But if you want to grab a copy of one or both of them, bring them to the sports book. I'll sign them for you. I'll buy you a beer or a ginger ale, and we'll sweat some baseball games together tonight. Next, if you enjoy these breakdowns and getting insights from AI models like Rhythm and JuiceReel, then you got to go download the Rhythm and JuiceReel apps. First, Rhythm, great for their AI-backed models and predictions for game bets and player props. Reminder, Rhythm Rundown tomorrow, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, stream live on Twitter. And then JuiceReel. So many great features of JuiceReel. You can sync up your sports books, get a running report card of your action. You can also get the Robo Jackson best bet picks, the Sharp Mush indicators, the arbitrage plays, the shop for the best line futures. And of course, if you want to be a hero and really make my day, this pod, it's free. It costs you nothing to listen. So if you want to repay the favor, let me know you appreciate the insights. If you want to support the pod and tip your podcast host, all you got to do is sign up for the All Systems Go Best Bet Picks on the JuiceReel app. That's going to cost you $4.99 a week, $5 a week to get all the bets, get them early, hopefully beat some closing lines, and then again, hopefully we'll cash some tickets together. But download Rhythm, download JuiceReel, give them both a 5-star review in the App Store. Next, do you have a live odds page? Well, if you don't have one, you need one. I can't stress it enough. You got to be able to track the market. What are the games I can bet on today? That's the very first thing. Give me all the games across the different sports, what's in action. But then I need to know the opening line. That never changes. It's a static column. Then you can compare it to the right with all the current numbers. We can diagnose line movement, pull up line history. We can shop for the best price, find that book giving us the best number. Again, we want to bet, this team at minus 140. Maybe there's a book at minus 135 out there. We want to bet an NFL plus 3.5 dog. We need that hook versus other books that are down to 3. So Odds Logic is the best live odds page around. Helps me win. It's going to help you win. And I promise you it's going to be the most frequented website. You're going to bookmark it. You're going to stare at this page. It's a great resource. It becomes your sports betting Bible, tracking the odds. So if you want to give Odds Logic a shot, I got a little link for you. It'll give you a 7-day free trial and 50% off your first month of service. All you got to do is go to oddslogic.com/Josh123. So that about does it for episode 497 of the ASG Pod. As always, guys, 2 final thoughts. 1, whether I see you at the Borgata in Atlantic City, Twin River in Rhode Island, the Brook in New Hampshire, Foxwoods or Mohegan Sun down in Connecticut, at the Encore in Boston, Plainridge Park Casino, MGM Springfield, or the Nash on the border of Massachusetts and New Hampshire, which is my local sports book, or of course out in the desert where the true grinders get down, where Billy Walters sends his number runners, where the lowest juice possible is found at the South Point, or Sweat and Sharp Contrarian plays, jumping in the stadium swim pool when you cash a big ticket at Circa. You're going to walk up to me, show me a nice Cincinnati Redlegs ticket, show me a Cubbies ticket. First one's on me, next one's on you. We'll post it at the book and sweat some more MLB for tonight. So as always, guys, coming off a 2-1 or a 1-2, a 3-0 or an 0-3, a winning night, a losing night, a hot streak, a cold streak, whether everything's going our way or nothing's going our way, we just got to stay even keeled. We can't get too high when things are good. Can't get too low when things are bad. We got to stick to the model, stick to the blueprint, avoid the games with red flags, bet the games that are sharp and fit our model. Games that are simultaneously against the public, with the house, with the pros, flat bet. Avoid parlays and get that CLV. If we can do that, we're going to be successful sports bettors. So hope everyone has a great Wednesday night, guys. Again, NFL draft tomorrow. Screenshot those odds. We'll see where the late money breaks. I'm sure I'll have a couple NFL draft bets for you guys tomorrow. So very much looking forward to that. And by the way, my Boston Bruins. I had no action on the game. I had just action as a fan. Boston Bruins. Nice comeback win after blowing game one. Came to play. Almost blew it. I thought they might blow it again last night. They're up 4-0, and then it got to 4-2. I'm like, here we go again. But they hung on. The series goes back to Boston. So it's always nice in the spring when you get a Stanley Cup winner, playoff winner, that is. If they could win the Cup, hey, that'd be even better. But good luck, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow for episode 498 of the All Systems Go Sports Betting Podcast, powered by Rhythm. Good luck, guys, and have a great Tuesday night, or Wednesday night, I should say. Good luck.